Welcome to the Breaking the Barriers podcast, brought to you by Resilience Mindset, a division of Justine Martin Corporation. This podcast is your front row seat to inspiration, empowerment, and real-life stories that will leave you in awe. Join our host Justine Martin, CEO and founder of Resilience Mindset, as we dive into the incredible lives of the 27 models featured in the groundbreaking community project, Breaking Barrier Stories Through the Lens. So grab a cup of coffee, settle in, and get ready for stories that will uplift, empower, and inspire.
Today on the podcast, we're joined by the inspiring Craig and Rizza Young, a recently married couple whose story is one of resilience, love, and faith. Craig, living with epilepsy since childhood, and Rizza, managing rheumatic heart disease and vision loss, have never let their disabilities define them. Instead, they've used their challenges as stepping stones to prove their strength and determination. From Craig's heroic act of saving a man from a burning house to Rizza's incredible singing talent, the couple exemplifies what it means to break barriers and change misconceptions about disabilities. United by faith, community, and a deep love for one another, they are passionate about encouraging others to focus on their strengths rather than their limitations. Their message is clear. Having a disability is not a hindrance. Everyone has abilities and those should be celebrated. Let's welcome the inspiring couple, Craig and Rizza Young, to the show. Can you tell us a little bit about yourselves?
I'm Craig, I'm 60, born and raised in Geelong, lived here all my life. Struggled when I was younger with epilepsy from the age of 3.
Yep.
Changed my way I was able to do things really, from school to working, then not being able to work because of the health conditions, and then overcome those, become the person that I am today basically.
Fantastic. Thanks for sharing that. Riz?
Hi, I'm Rizza Milano from Philippines. I'm 50 years old and I was born with a rheumatic heart before.
Right.
Yes, and
Yeah.
when I was 7 years old, I reached out those being a rheumatic heart disease, and then until now that's fine.
It's good
Yeah,
now.
it's good now.
Yeah. That's
And
good.
when I was in high school, I was accidentally with my eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it. I was operated in the USD hospital in Metro Manila. It's February. So
So you had eye surgery
yeah,
in your teenage years.
yes, operations. And
Yeah.
that's it.
And so you're unable to see out of your left eye. Is that
It's not here.
not here?
Here.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah. So that's a disability that you had to live with for a very long time, both of you. Yeah. And how has that shaped you, do you think, living with those disabilities?
I think for me, growing up and people turn around and say, especially back then in the 60s, you can't play sport, you can't do this, you can't do that. It's all the things that you can't do rather than the things
You can do.
that you can do. But everyone tried to baby me, but I didn't look at myself as being different to any of the other kids in the neighbourhood. So I continued to do everything that everybody else was doing.
Yeah.
And I think that shaped me as I'm still normal.
We're all still normal, but aren't we?
Yeah.
You know, what is normal?
Yeah.
And there's this segregation, like able-bodied, disabled body, but aren't we all human? Shouldn't we all be treated
That's right.
as human?
It's medical conditions. When you look at someone, if it's something that's internal, we look the same. You treat us the same until we mention about what's going on, and then the barriers come up.
Exactly. And that was going to lead me to, what does breaking barriers mean to you personally?
Well, I think breaking barriers is, I've proven throughout my life, even with my epilepsy and later on the other health issues I have, I can still do what a normal person can do.
Yeah.
In 1985, I ran into a burning house and pulled a guy out of a burning house.
Oh my God.
So even though I have a disability, I can still do what firefighters can do. They're normal, they're healthy. So I can do the same as
I experience the same thing when I fly. So I fly quite often, about every 6 weeks, and I'm not allowed to sit in the emergency exits because of my disability. But I weight train 3 days a week, and I'm generally pretty good, and I'm probably stronger than the older person sitting in that emergency exit.
Yeah.
But because I've got MS, that rules me out.
Yeah. Well, see, I travel a fair bit as well, and I haven't had that issue where they turn around and say, "Do you have a disability?" or anything like that, and it's never been over. I think I've had sat in the emergency twice. But yeah, I agree. Just because something affects us internally doesn't mean that. I mean, okay, I'm an epileptic, and I now haven't had a seizure in 20 years. But does that mean that I'm not going to go home today and have one? Well, no, because it's not scar related or accident related. It's chemical imbalance. So for me, being seizure free for 20 years, where it's great.
You still on meds?
Yes.
Yeah.
But because of that, it's much better for me that I feel better about myself anyway. That you can't tell.
Yeah. Yep. 100%.
Are you loving the podcast so far? Imagine the possibilities if you had Justine Martin guiding you through your writing journey. Whether you're crafting your next big book or perfecting a personal project, Justine's expertise can elevate your work. Don't miss out on the chance to work with a seasoned pro, ready to take your writing to the next level. Message us today and let's make your writing dreams come true.
What are some of your proudest achievements? Getting married?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah?
Shit.
Yeah?
Yeah, we've only been married since November last year.
Oh, you're still in the honeymoon stage. Congratulations.
Rizza's the oldest of her family.
Yeah.
And as you can tell, she's quite shy, but she's been one to help the rest of the family.
Right.
Help them with their kids and
Yep.
and stuff like that. And she looked after her parents and everything like that. Everyone knows that Filipinos, if they go overseas and they work, they send money home to their family and stuff like that. And Rizza's no different.
So what did you do for work?
I'm working now in the herd there in Craig, in the packing department.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Well, that's
I'm
a
working there
achievement.
for 6 months or 7 months now.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Why did you guys want to do this project?
I think it's, other than helping our friends,
Yeah.
it's good to get awareness and be able to point out to people we're no different. Just because of something that people see as disability,
Or don't see you as having a disability.
Yeah.
I mean, if people walk past you up the street, they wouldn't know that either of you had disabilities, would they?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And I mean, I must admit, 2024, it's a lot better. I mean, if you go back into the 50s, people with epilepsy were still being locked up in sanitariums and looked at as being crazy.
Oh my God.
So it has come a long way in 60, 70 years.
Yeah, it has.
But
Still a long way to go. We're not there yet.
Sure. No, for sure.
No.
But unfortunately, people with disabilities will always be treated differently. It's almost the same as a racial problem, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You go for work and depending on your health or depending on your race or your beliefs or whatever, it still comes into question even though they say it doesn't.
And your disability.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So, they're things that...
We've got a long way to go.
Yeah, it's like...
Accessibility is a big one. Like, I sometimes use a wheelchair and you don't realise how inaccessible society is until you're in a chair. And you can't go into that building because you can't get up the step, or you can't use that disabled toilet because someone's used it as a storage room with high chairs and in restaurants.
And that's the thing too. And people's disabilities or illnesses are unique to every person and are different.
100%.
Okay, I have grand mal epilepsy, but my epilepsy could be worse than somebody else who has the same type of epilepsy, or it might not be as bad. Whatever.
Yep.
Your MS might be at a certain level
100%
compared to
different.
someone else who...
Yeah, and we've got a few people that on this project that have got MS, and it affects us all differently. So
I think the other thing too is people don't realise is it affects our families as well.
Oh yes.
You know.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's the hard part, where if you want to do things with your family or whatever, people don't realise that our families give up so much to do things with us, to support us, and
or become carers when they didn't have a choice in the matter with it. Yes, totally agree, Craig.
Have you ever thought about writing your own book? Join the Morpheus Publishing Writing Group program and turn your dream into reality. Contact Morpheus Publishing today and start your journey to becoming a published author.
How do you find joy and fulfillment in your daily life?
for us, it's with each other and in the church. We're both Christians and both belong to the Church of Christ, and we're very active in the church. And that for us is our
joy
and fulfillment.
Fantastic. What hobbies or activities are you passionate about? Have you got a hobby, Rizza?
Singing. She's a
Are you a singer?
She's a brilliant singer.
Oh. For someone that's so shy, that's really surprising.
Put a microphone in her hand, it's just totally different.
All right, that's all we needed to get you talking today. Put a microphone in your hand. What's your favourite song?
Oh, lots of
them. Yeah. Any that I would know?
You like, what's that Lady Gaga one you like?
Remember Me This Way?
Oh, I'd love to hear you sing sometime. Who are your role models or sources of inspiration?
For me, I think my mum. She was only a small woman, very small woman, but huge heart. She was the oldest of 10 children.
Wow, family Christmases must have been huge in your family.
Well, yeah, but growing up, my father was an alcoholic. So my family life, being the youngest, was not the best. But my mum, she worked 2, sometimes 3 jobs because my father was no longer working, just to support us. And so we had a very hard upbringing, very poor family and whatnot. Sorry about that. We all lent on mum. And for someone who was social, she only went to grade 6, which was very popular back in those days because she had to get up.
Go to work.
But for someone of her stature, incredible strength. She was absolutely brilliant.
So what message would you like to share with the world through this project?
Having a disability is not a hindrance.
I like that. Having a disability is not a hindrance.
For me,
you must go.
I think it's, don't worry about this. Everybody has abilities.
I like that. That's very good. Well, thanks for your time today, guys. I hope it wasn't as scary as what you thought it was going to be. And we're going to hear you sing sometime.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Breaking the Barriers. We hope these stories inspired you as much as they inspired us. Stay connected and keep the conversation going by following us on social media at Resilience Mindset. We'd love to hear your thoughts and see how these stories resonate with you. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast today so you never miss an episode. Together, let's continue to celebrate resilience, diversity, and the power of storytelling. Until next time, stay strong, stay inspired, and keep breaking those barriers.